Is it possible for some people that start a YouTube channel, they have an unfair advantage from the very get-go? Yes, it is. And it may be you, especially if you're a senior or a baby boomer. The first baby boomers turn 80 years old this year. For a lot of people, that sounds sounds like the end of something, but for me, 80 was the beginning. That's right. I started this YouTube channel when I was 80 years old, a little less than 2 years ago. I now have 43,000 subscribers. I've got well over 1 million watch hours. And I tell you, it's an exciting adventure. In this video, I want to show you the hidden advantage that older creators, those in the fourth quarter of their life, seniors, baby boomers, have on YouTube. And you can't fake it. Hi, this is Old Mike, Old Me, Living Better. You know my motto. If you ain't dead, you ain't done. Have you ever heard somebody say, growing old sucks? Well, the people that I hang out with, I hear that a lot. And to be honest, at 82 years old now, there's a lot of things about growing old that really do suck. But starting a YouTube channel is not and was not one of them. I believe there are 3 advantages older YouTube creators have. Let me draw the first advantage from one of my favorite Bible verses, Job 12:12. Wisdom is with the aged, and understanding in length of days. Oh, let me say that again. Wisdom is with the aged, and understanding in the length of days. So the first advantage that senior YouTubers have is experience, lived experience. Experience is not what happened to you, it's what stayed with you after life happened. I've had a lot of experience in my 82 years. I was kicked out of high school in my junior year. That's right. Matter of fact, they were going to throw me out entirely out of the Long Beach Unified School System, Long Beach, California. I had to go to a meeting, which I think the group was called the expulsion meeting. So I went there with my mom. My father had passed away that year. My pastor came with me, and he had an opportunity to speak to this board, and I was in shock. My pastor got up and he told that board why he believed in me and I should get a second chance. The more he talked, I thought, man, he's got me mixed up with some other kid. That definitely wasn't me. That wasn't what I thought about myself and what I heard from my parents and other people. But I learned a valuable lesson. It's a lesson that changed my life. It taught me how important it is to have somebody believe in you. Somebody who saw something in me that I didn't see. That experience has carried with me all of my life. It's become one of my compassions or passions to help people to see things in them that they don't see in themselves. What experience have you had that's changed your life that you could share in a YouTube video? Your experience is your number one secret advantage in starting a YouTube channel. Now, let me introduce you to the second advantage with another quote, this one from Soren Kierkegaard. Here it is. Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. Oh, I'm going to say these quotes twice. I like them so much. Life can only be understood backwards, but must be lived forwards. So the second advantage that older creators have is perspective. Yeah, I can look back on my life, but I still have to live forward. That was the point of this quote. If you're like me, your experience has changed over the years. I mean, I've changed my mind so many different times. I used to laugh at my grandfather for all of the nutty, embarrassing things that he did when I was growing up. Guess what? I turned into my grandfather. That's right. I have a new appreciation now for what he went through because I'm going through it. So that's perspective. It's not what happens, it's what I understand now, what took place in the happening about it. It's a real advantage. As I look backwards in my life, I can interpret the events that took place. And matter of fact, a lot of events in my life, I didn't understand them for a year, 2, 3, 5 years, 50 years later before I figured them out. So the older you are, the longer you have to look backwards. As long as you're going forwards, your perspective becomes very powerful. We've lived through trends, failures, successes, and seasons of life, and now perspective lets me connect the dots. And I got to tell you, I think that's what people are really looking for. So let me introduce the third advantage that older YouTube creators have with another quote. This one's from Harvey Mackay. Maybe you've read his book, Swim with the Sharks. Here's what Harvey says: don't confuse visibility with credibility. That's right. Don't confuse visibility with credibility. The third advantage that older creators have is credibility. That's right. Credibility is what happens when people can feel that your words have been lived. It's not just that you're talking, but you live the experience. You have the perspective, and that establishes your credibility. Here's how experience, perspective, and credibility work together for older creators. Experience broadens perspective, and perspective builds credibility. I think the point of McKay's quote for YouTube creators is that we can be seen but not trusted. I mean, you turn on YouTube and there's a million videos that you can watch. How many of them can you really trust? It's interesting that incredible, the word incredible and the word credible are similar but very different. I got to tell you, I watched a couple of videos this morning on YouTube. They were incredible, but not in the good sense. They were making promises and claims that were outlandish. They were incredible. I think people are not looking for the incredible. I think they're looking for the credibility. Most people crave authenticity and credibility. As an older YouTube creator, your lived experience, your gained perspective establishes your credibility. You can get attention without credibility. So here's the hidden advantage for older creators that we have on YouTube. You can't fake experience. It's your experience, not an AI program's experience. It's your experience. You can't rush perspective. It's taken you all of your life to get the perspective. And you can't manufacture credibility. You've earned it as you've lived your life and gained the perspective. So if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, don't wait. I'll list some resources down in the description of this video that you can go to. A few videos that I recommend watching if you're going to start a YouTube channel. Make sure if you go down to the description to sign up for my email. I'm about ready to publish a quick start guide for seniors and baby boomers, and I will list that, how to get that in the email. But speaking of fakes, I did a whole video on how AI is faking old people. I mean, it's a hoot. It's an absolute hoot. But it's also disgusting, in my opinion. That's why I made this video. I don't think I'll put it over here. You're the real deal. You're not a fake. because if you ain't dead, you ain't done. This is Old Mike saying, I will see you next time.